Hey, we are jumping back into Express Cash Offer and the Tradmaker technology that we provide dealers. This is a tool that allows a dealership to create a will buy your car program or a used vehicle acquisition strategy. This is a customer first, customer forward solution, really designed to be able to provide a great user experience to increase the amount of leads that you're generating from a trade evaluation technology centered around a will buy your car program. What's really cool about this technology is it's tapping into some incredible data sets that allow us to be super accurate with the evaluation that we are placing on a vehicle. And it is going to bring in the individual vehicle information, the history, and most importantly, it is going to apply customized pricing rules from your dealership. Now, the reason that we create these customized pricing rules is that we know it's extremely important for you to be able to put your influence on the evaluation that a customer is going to be getting for a particular vehicle. Our thinking is this. We know that customers or that dealerships, let me just get this set up here. We know that dealerships have their ideal inventory mix. You know what you sell really well, and you know what you struggle with when it comes to stocking your used vehicle inventory. So if you're utilizing a tool that doesn't take in consideration your ideal marketing mix or inventory mix and have a way to influence that evaluation that you're placing on the vehicle, then it really doesn't even matter. Because when a customer comes to your dealership website, and let's say, for example, they have that perfect A car that is irreplaceable, that you can't go to the auction and buy, and if you were to have it in inventory, you would sell it within 24 hours and you would make a very good profit on it, even if you stepped up and paid all the money for that used vehicle. Those are the types of vehicles that you need to find. Going to the auction isn't going to find those vehicles. And if you just have a traditional trade tool on your website that is not going to be super aggressive in the pricing for that vehicle, you're not going to get a shot at getting that vehicle because you're just going to be like everybody else. So Express Cash Offer is a technology and a tool that's going to tap into a deep resource for vehicle evaluations. It's going to layer on top of that individual vehicle pricing adjustments based on the history of that vehicle, and then it's going to apply the pricing rules that we have set up for your particular dealership. I'm going to walk you through the front end and the back end on how what we call our Express Cash Offer matrix pricing works. And we're actually rolling this out starting next week with a new enhancement to the back-end tools to be able to make this process even easier. So let me go ahead and share that with you real quick. To do that, I'm going to share my screen. Let me go ahead and share my screen here. All right, I got it. To start, what I'm going to do is let me walk through the customer interface on how this actually looks to a customer, get the pricing, show you the back end and how we calculate the evaluation, and then how you can make the adjustment with our new Express Cash Offer matrix pricing rules engine. All right, so with that said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here to new cars. I'm going to go sell or trade will buy your car, since that's what we're talking about is will buy your car program. Now you can see right here, we're going to have a very strong call to action right on the home page for the will buy your car program, but we're also going to include other information like a video. and other marketing messages to build value in the overall process. Really, it's almost like creating a Carvana in a box almost, where we've created all of the marketing message idealized for your dealership and the OEM that you represent in the OEM colors right into our Express Cash Offer tool. To get started, I'm just going to pop in my VIN number, which I happened to just copy a little bit earlier before starting this video. And I'm going to grab my state. I'm going to put in my miles. Let's say that I got 52,700 miles on this vehicle. And I'm going to hit Get Offer. That's going to pre-populate the Express Cash Offer user interface. We include a video that is going to explain how the Express Cash Offer system works. It's basically like a commercial building value in this overall process. In this case, I'm just going to hit Get Offer. First thing that you're going to notice is that we decoded that VIN to an individual vehicle. Now, that is actually part of this very deep resource that I spoke about a little bit ago, and that is through the Enhanced Vehicle Matching System. So our data partner for our Express Cash Offer tool is Black Book. As you know, Black Book is a tremendous resource when it comes to very quick and accurate real market data. That is at the core of how we're going to provide our pricing. But what we layer on top of that is going to come from some other elements. Now, one of the things that we use as part of our partnership with Black Book is the Enhanced Vehicle Matching. That allows us to take a VIN and 40% more often, based on the API integration that we have with Black Book, 40% more often, we're going to be able to decode that individual vehicle all the way down to the year, make, model, trim, hard adds, and hard deducts just from the VIN number. It is a much more seamless interaction for a consumer, because then they don't have to provide that information. We're just going to do that based on this data set and the API that we have access to. I'm going to go back to sharing my screen here real quick. Now, we've done that. So that's what we have. 2020 Honda Passport EXL. Now I'm going to put in my information. Now, I'm going to skip over some of the stuff I usually explain as I'm going through our user interface to streamline this video for you. But the one thing that we do is, with Express Cash Offer, instead of asking the customer 20 or 30 different questions about the overall condition of the vehicle, we're going to ask them one, and that is, rate your vehicle between 1 and 4 stars. I'm going to say this vehicle is pretty awesome, but if I didn't know, all I have to do is click on this question mark, and it tells me what the characteristics my vehicle needs to have to qualify for that 3-star rating. This is an important element of the Express Cash Offer system, because once the customer comes into the dealership for that in-person walk around of the vehicle, the Express Cash Offer inspection, if it doesn't meet those expectations for the 3-star value, then you can automatically bring that down to a 2-star or a 1-star value if needed to justify the actual cash value of the vehicle. I'm going to go ahead and click Next here. You can see here that we do have some custom questions. Now, if we weren't able to decode all of the hard adds and deducts, this is the area where we're going to show that evaluation, such as, does it have navigation? Does it have a moonroof? Does it have the premium wheels? In this case, it already knows all of that. We do have the option to ask the customer some clarifying questions like, hey, does this vehicle have 2 keys and remotes? We're going to assume that it does, but if it doesn't, they can let us know. And we're going to do the same thing with a few other questions. And you can customize this. You can add whatever questions you want, and you can set any values to those questions. We take the assumptive approach, meaning that it is going to be including all of these things, but if it doesn't, then we're going to deduct values. But you can do it either way. I'm going to go ahead and click next. And now what you're going to see is we do have the option to upload images of the vehicle right from my desktop. And in this scenario, I'm just going to skip it, make this a little bit faster, and then boom, you're going to see that we're providing that express cash offer value based on 3 stars. 18,585 is the value. Now I'm going to say, okay, I got it. But you can see here that we can adjust this down however we want. This is part of our matrix pricing. So the base pricing is going to be exactly the same for 1 star to 4 star, but inside of that we can use different rules, and I'm going to show you how those rules actually work. I can schedule an appointment and complete the process here. This is going to provide me with the my express cash offer check and my evaluation with all of those different star value evaluations. So this vehicle could be as low as 17.3, as high as 21,370. At 3 stars, we're at 18,585. With these specific characteristics built in place to be able to get that actual value. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come into our back-end system. I'm going to go into my Express Cash Offer reports. I'm just going to select today's date. This is our test environment, so it's only going to have a few here. And you can see there's my Express Cash Offer record. I can go ahead and open this up. And you can see here that I have the Express Cash Offer value, $18,585. Well, how did we come to that evaluation? So this is where we get into the dealer matrix pricing. But before I get there, I want to explain the vehicle history. So with our integration, it is going to provide us a history adjustment. So we're going to have a history adjusted, clean, average, and rough value. The history adjustment is going to be based on the individual vehicle and the history of that individual vehicle based on what is reported to AutoCheck. In this case, we have a $1,550 decrease in value for a rough book value, $1,820 for average and $1,955 for clean. So our adjusted average value on this vehicle is $21,420. So this is going to be I'll even blow it up a little bit better so you can see it. So this is going to be $22,715. There's no added options. There's no hard adds for this vehicle. Based on the mileage that's on the vehicle, the 52,700, we're going to have a 525 mileage add. Our adjusted value is now 23,240. We're going to have a history adjustment based on the history of this vehicle at 1820. That's going to put us at 21,420. So right over here, we have the adjusted value at 21,420. Now we're going to add in top of that our Express Cash Offer matrix pricing. Now this is where you get to use your influence to provide the evaluation adjustment to this vehicle. Now, just in our test scenario, we have this at 86% for average value. Now, in addition to the matrix pricing, we can further adjust the evaluation based on a mileage band or a pricing band. The justification for allowing this is if, for example, we want to further adjust down the evaluation based on the mileage. For example, if you wanted to have anything that's over 80,000 miles, that makes it a little bit more difficult to maybe get financing, we can further adjust that down. Another 1%, 3%, 5%, 7%, 10%. We can adjust that down. I've also noticed that in many cases, when the vehicle has ultra low miles, like let's say under 10,000 miles, sometimes the mileage adjustment can be a little rich, can be a little aggressive. So we might want to tamper that down a little bit by reducing a mileage adjustment based on anything that is less than 10,000 miles. The pricing band adjustment, what this allows us to do is really allow you to create your ideal inventory mix. So if, for example, you do super well with vehicles that are between $8,000 and $18,000 when you're selling used vehicle inventory, and you want to be super aggressive on those vehicles, you can do that. So anything that is in that we can even do it in $1,000 increments, and we can really get that dialed in for you. Additionally, if there's any vehicles that are outside of your comfort zone, let's say $35,000 to $40,000 on a used vehicle standpoint, you want to be a little bit more cautious in the evaluation that we're providing through the Express Cash Offer system. We can add some deducts in those pricing bands. So let me just show you exactly what that actually looks like in our Express Cash Offer system. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to go into my test account. And I'm going to go right into our pricing matrix. Now, what I can do is, you can see here, let me go ahead and zoom this up a little bit so you can see it. Grab myself a nice little sip of hot coffee. All right, so what we're looking at here is our pricing bands. And this so this allows me to set up my different pricing tier levels. So I have a standard matrix. So anything that falls outside of what I have set up in my categories is going to fall back to this standard matrix. So in this case, in this scenario, I have 97% of average book for a 4-star vehicle, 94% of average book for a 3-star value, 91 for 2, and 87 for 1-star. Our aggressive matrix pricing would be their top tier pricing. So this is the vehicles that you want to be the most aggressive with your pricing. Probably going to be the OEM that you represent in the years and pricing range that is your ideal inventory mix. In this case, we have it set at 99 for 4-star, 86 for 3-star, 85 for 2-star, and 80 for 1-star. And again, these are kind of just set for our testing. We have our moderate pricing mix. So this is going to be pretty much everything you would normally want to price. That's going to be outside of the vehicles that you want to be super aggressive for. And then also we have our conservative matrix. So the conservative matrix is going to be if, let's say, example, if I'm in an import store and I would love to have as many imports as possible because that's what people know us for and that's what I like to sell. And right now, looking to purchase imports at the auction, or they're just not existent. So anything outside of those is going to be in my moderate. So that's kind of like neutral. Conservative is going to be where we're going to want to price out anything that is going to be kind of those normal run-of-the-mill C-type cars or B-type cars. If you remember the old bucket system pricing, B cars, replaceable. You can find them, nothing special about them, but they're a good vehicle. But maybe they're an off make. You don't do super well with domestics. So you want to be a little bit more conservative with those domestic products. That's going to be your conservative. And then cautious, we have this set to be able to price something that is going to be way outside your comfort zone. For many dealerships, pricing out a Ferrari or a Porsche or a Land Rover, any exotics or near exotics or luxe, ultra luxe is what you might want to set in that cautious matrix. It still allows you to put a number on a vehicle, but you can be super cautious. And then we also have the ability to flat out set up the system to not price a particular make or not price a particular year. And I can kind of show you how that works as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my categories, and let's say we know that over here, actually, let me open this back up. Let me go into my reports, my Express Cash Offer report. Let me go in today's date, make sure I'm looking at the same appraisal I just did. There it is. Okay, so in this case, I'm a 2020 Honda Passport. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to go, I just want to look at the 2020s, and I want to look at Honda. All right, so we have the 2020 Honda at aggressive pricing. So if I come in here, you can see that we're 86% for pretty awesome. And you can see here, pretty awesome, 86% based on our aggressive pricing model. So if I come over here and I go to aggressive pricing, I can see 86 is where we're at right here. Now, let's say that, you know, I'm reviewing this and I've been noticing that we're a little bit light on the products we want to be super aggressive for. So this is going to allow me to update this. Let's say that I want to put this, you know, closer to 95%. I can actually bring this up to, let's say, 91%, and I'm going to bring that to about 83%. Maybe even put that down to 90. So 90, 95, I'll make this 101. So 101, 95, 90, 83. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. Now what we're going to be able to do is come back in here, rerun that appraisal. $52,700. You can see one of the great features of Express Cash Offer is going to remember that I've already gone through an appraisal process. It's going to pre-fill all my information and make the second time a little bit easier. I'm also going to select 3 stars. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to click on the does not include 2 keys and remotes. And then I'm going to get to my evaluation. So now I'm at $20,513. And you can see my range now is $21,798, and my low end is $17,943. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. I'll schedule an appointment. So now we have 513 is my Express Cash Offer versus where I was before at the 18,853 if memory serves. And that's because we've made the adjustment to that aggressive pricing model that we have built. Now, if I come back over here and I go back to my appraisal, you can see here we're at 20,513 versus the 18,585. And if I open up this report, you're going to see that we're at a 95% for the Express Cash Offer. Pretty awesome. That's 3 stars. But all of the other values is going to be the same. Now, if we just also look down here, you can see that I did get a $200 deduct because me as a customer I selected does not include the 2 keys and remotes. Now, if I would have said that this vehicle has been used for a ride share, it would have deducted $1,000. That those adjustments come right here. Now you can also see here that this actually picked up an additional 1% deduct, $214 in their pricing adjustment. So this is kind of cool. So you saw how the categories worked. I can do this again, look at it. So I'm going to go to 2020. I'm going to select Honda. And you can see now it's 101, 95, 90, and 83. Here's my custom questions right here. So I can come in here and I can edit this if I want to. I can say automatically it's checked or unchecked. Question, whatever the question is, whatever the evaluation is. So if I wanted to change this to $300, now the next time I would do an appraisal and a customer says that doesn't include the keys and remote, it's going to be a $300 deduct. Now we also have our pricing bands here. So we have, in this case, actually we had pricing bands over here. We were at 1%, which is $20,001 to $25,000, we made an adjustment of a 1% adjustment. Of course, I can come right in here and I can make that adjustment here in a very simple, easy to use UI. And then we can do the same thing for miles. If I wanted to adjust, like you can see here that we have a 5% adjustment at anything over or in between 80 to 100,000 miles. I could actually create another one. If I wanted to say 90,001 to 150,000, and I wanted to do a negative 10% adjustment. Now anything with that is going to be over and above those pricing, 10%. You can see how that one popped in right there, but I'm just going to go ahead and delete that. Confirm delete. Very simple to use UI. I think it makes a whole lot of sense. You can also, if you wanted to start from a different book value, such as maybe you want your aggressive just to be at 100% of clean book, you can do that. So you have the ability to select rough, average, clean as the starting base value, and then the adjustment goes on top of that. So in this video, what I wanted to review was our Express Cash Offer system and the fact that this is built as a customer forward will buy your car program that resides on your dealership website. It provides a really cool UI that the customer can walk through. The goal is to increase the amount of leads that we're getting from that call to action. But then we also provide a very powerful database and pricing model that starts with the massive database and the ultra current evaluation that we get from Black Book. On top of that, we're bringing in the history adjustment for individual vehicles based on the vehicle itself, so that one owner perfect car is going to appraise more than a similar make, model, year, mileage that maybe started out as a rental car and had an accident. We're going to bring that into the evaluation, and then we get to put in your dealership's custom pricing mapping or rules using our rules engine with the Express Cash Offer Matrix. Ton of great information. I hope you really, really loved it. We're super excited to bring this new back-end UI available to our dealers. And of course, like always, if you're still sticking around, I really appreciate you checking out my videos. You're going to find this video and many others at entice.com.